A really dangerous social media trend from the past is raising new concerns from parents. The Benadryl challenge encourages teenagers to take large amounts of the allergy medicine.
Yeah, but that can lead to hallucinations, seizures, and even death. WLWT News 5's Todd Dykes spoke with a local poison control expert about the risks and what families should look out for. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Mike and Shree. Benadryl is a pretty common allergy medicine that's in family medicine cabinets throughout greater Cincinnati. Experts say that may make it even more dangerous when teens see online posts that treat the drug like a game. What's come to be called the Benadryl challenge has been circulating on social media for several years, encouraging young people to take dangerously high amounts of the over-the-counter drug in hopes of triggering hallucinations.
I think there's a lot in terms of people trying to get, internet kind of clout.
Dr. Shan Yin is medical director of the Cincinnati Drug and Poison Information Center. He says the allure of getting clicks online without understanding the danger the challenge poses can lead to very bad outcomes.
I mean, there's kind of the invincibility of youth. They don't think that they, are likely to get into serious trouble.
Yin says a normal dose of Benadryl is far below the level where serious toxic effects can start, but taking too much can cause delirium, a racing heart, and an altered state. At higher doses, the risks get much worse.
One would be arrhythmias, so it can kind of mess with the conduction of the heart and to be a fatal arrhythmia. And then also seizures. So, certainly if you are having an unwitnessed or a seizure, that could result in death.
Yen has seen an increase in intentional Benadryl overdoses in Southwest and Northeast Ohio, regions served by poison experts based at Children's Hospital in Avondale.
We can't tease out whether a lot of these are related to a social media challenge. Right now, we just know that we've seen big increases in intentional overdoses by adolescents.
If a teen takes a large amount of Benadryl, parents may notice something is wrong very quickly.
We've seen cases where somebody will be smoking a cigarette, but there's no cigarette, or talking to people that aren't there.
Yin says the best defense is talking to kids ASAP about peer pressure tied to social media, the kind of pressure that can lead to things like the Benadryl challenge.
Starting early, starting in middle school.
Now, Dr. Yin says if you're in a situation where you think someone may have taken too much Benadryl or any other drug, reach out to the Poison Center right away. The center is staffed 24 hours a day. Todd Dykes, WLWT News 5.
Todd, thank you. Quick personal note about this. One time I ended up in the hospital taking too much Benadryl, by the way, and passed out and low blood pressure. That is very powerful medication. So everything that Todd said, I could tell you from personal experience.
You were having an allergic reaction.
I was,
to take
so
a Benadryl.
I took Benadryl and another one, and then boom,
Right.
bad reaction.